Hey guys, welcome back to Bake the Podcast Season 2. So remember, you can find my podcast on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. This is our second season, and I'm so excited to be able to film this again. If you're listening on Spotify, you know that you can switch over to video. A lot of people don't know this. You can watch my podcast on Spotify as well. So be sure to do that. And then, of course, drop any comments. I will respond. I always respond to Spotify comments. I'm not that good on YouTube, but I'm getting better. And then obviously reach out to us on Instagram as well, on Bake the Podcast. I'm really good with that one. Not so good with Baked Online. I don't often reply. I'm trying to get better. So this season, my intention for this season is really to focus on friendship. So I've got a really cool collab with my friend Aqeelah. We're doing a friendship series. I think we're going to do 3 or 4 episodes. We haven't quite decided. We're definitely doing 3. And we have a really exciting project coming up together, which we'll share with you later in the year. So that's cool. And so if you guys have any ideas on what you want to listen to on the friendship series, you can comment on this post and I'll make sure that we read your comments and see if we can give you what you're looking for. And then, of course, there'll be loads more solo episodes this season. I heard you guys want solo episodes, so I'll make sure that I do more of those. And then our sports series, which did really well. Thanks, Calista, for coming on the podcast. I really want to just dive into that, but I can't get a sports star to come on this podcast. I've been stalking them. So, funny story, yesterday. So, I've been making my husband, Wayne, who does the sports series with me, I've been making him DM athletes and asking them if they'll come on the podcast, right? So, I really want one of the Springboks on the podcast. And most of them are ghosting us. I do know some of them and they don't want to come on, and that's fine. So yesterday I was at the Slow Lounge at Tambo, and do I not walk into all the Springboks? And I'm like, this is my moment. Put down my stuff, get my sparkling water, and I go and investigate why they don't want to be on my podcast. I literally go up to every player that I've DM'd and I'm like, hey, I'm Aisha. Wayne's DM'd you and asked you to come on the podcast and you've ghosted us. And it was actually so cute to see them squirm because they're these big guys and I'm very tiny. And most of them are nervous about like doing a podcast because I think in South Africa, podcasts have such a bad rap. Like people are either creating really controversial content or they're doing like gotcha moments with, well-known people. So if any of the Springboks are watching my podcast, I'm not going to do a gotcha moment on you. It'll be really fun and awesome. Please come on the podcast. So if I get one of the Springboks on the podcast, I'm going to do some really cool giveaway, I've decided, because I'll be celebrating that moment. Because I just want to show them that I am such a good interviewer. I know how to get into... I know how to get the other side of athletes. They live a very different life. And I think being inside that world, I can kind of see, the human side of an athlete. We like worship them on the field. We think they're so incredible and so we're so in awe of their ability, but we don't really get to know, what they like, what are their interests, what are their views on like marriage, dating, relationships. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. As a sports fan, I want to know my athlete like intimately. Like I want to know the details. So I'm working on that for you guys. And if I don't get one of the Springboks on this season, it's going to be okay because I am getting Wayne on. And Wayne he's just won this amazing trophy. He was in England. So, he's famous enough to be on the podcast, right? So we'll get him on. And I want to get you guys to know a different side of him, the side that I know. So I'm excited for that interview as well. Initially, it was like a standby interview because I know him so well. And I'm like, what should I ask him? And then friends and other people were like, there's so much we want to hear from Wayne. So I'm going to do an episode with Wayne. And then the Springbok episode will be a bonus episode. I'm literally manifesting on this podcast now that we are going to get one of the Springboks on. And then my sister's coming on finally. So we actually filmed with her last season and she hated the way she looked. So she banned me from posting the episode. She's the only guest that's ever done that. So it's actually so funny that I'm willing to do that for my sister because other people have asked me to change certain things on the episode. I'm like, guys, this is the episode. Like, you look beautiful, and like, let's just go with it. But when it comes to my sister, I'm so scared of her, even though she's 6 years younger than me. I'm like, fine, we'll bank your episode and we'll refilm it. So she's going to come on and we're going to talk about motherhood and sisterhood and just how different we are. She's more A-type, I'm B-type mom. And we want to kind of compare notes and let you guys in on that. And then also talk about how differently we view money, which is so interesting since we grew up in the same household. I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then we've got Calista back. You guys gave Calista such hell. You either loved her or you were upset because we were saying like too much. This is how we talk. It's 2025. We say like a lot. Get over it. If you upset with people saying like, then I don't think this is like the correct podcast for you because we're going to say it a lot. So chill out and enjoy. It's always silly having her on. We have such silly and fun conversations, so I'm excited for that. And then our star guest, which is someone I'm really looking forward to, is Mena from Silki. If you guys are on TikTok and you have followed the journey of Silki skincare, it's a local brand. They've just completely taken over, and she's done her marketing in the most interesting way. Just her talking to camera on TikTok and people just getting to know her as a founder. So I'm excited to dive in with her and just get to know, what kind of person she is and how she views running a business, because she's created 2 sort of viral brands in South Africa, which is so interesting, and she's done it in such a unique way. So I really wanted to get in there with her and just kind of pick her brain and see a different side to her as well. And then on the solo front, to be honest, I haven't really planned any of the solo episodes. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I know that I've changed a lot. So when we were filming season 1, I was still 34 and now I'm 35. And I feel like I'm completely different. So 34 is young, 35 is old. I feel old. I feel my age. I felt like 21 until last year. And then suddenly I feel like I'm a grown up. I'm a mom. Like, who made me a mom? I've been a mom for 7 years, but I really feel like I can give people advice now. Like, if people come to me for advice, I'm like, oh, I know things because I'm grown. So, I've definitely changed. I would say this is the first time ever having a birthday where I feel different. I'm low-key having like a very slight identity crisis when it comes to my role in like digital media in South Africa. I don't resonate with the term influencer anymore because it's just not, like, I'm not selling. Like, I don't want to sell stuff. I want to impact lives, right? And when you look at the word influencer, you feel like influential, like it should be, and you're impacting people's lives. But I think what we've become like as an industry is more like kind of like promotional, like we like promo girls. And yeah, my first job was as a promo girl. So I've been a promo girl for a long time. And I don't really want to still be doing that. I want to make an impact. And this is why, I've leaned into the podcast more. And I'm also thinking about how can I make an impact on other influencers and teach them how to navigate the space, like creating a difference or having a voice without just being like a total sellout, because I've seen a lot of that lately. And it's kind of a bummer. So I think there's no sort of guidelines as to how to navigate the online space as a South African. And so I maybe want to create some content around, or maybe on this podcast, just directed really to content creators and influencers and how to navigate that space. Because I've been doing it for so many years, 17 years. So just a really long time. So for me, I think the main thing is just focusing on this podcast and kind of moving away from the influencer world, which is kind of weird to say. And then I want to sell tracksuits, guys. I don't know if you remember. So I'm wearing my Baked merch. I don't know if you guys remember Baked Collection. If you do, then you're a real fan. So I want to bring the tracksuits back. I've started making them, but I'm so shy to post them. So maybe by the time this episode goes live, I'll post my tracksuits. I still get shy. I still get nervous. And I think that's part of me being passionate about stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be discovering myself this season on the podcast with you guys. Maybe we should do some like personality quizzes and find out who I am now, because I feel like I don't know where I fit in the realm of like the digital world. Okay, so the cruise bullied me into telling you guys why I feel different at 35. I think that's a good question. Firstly, when I turned 35, I cut my hair. And I feel like when a woman cuts her hair, she changes her life, right? So prior to this, I think I was very social. And my social life dictated my whole life. I worked to socialize, loved going out with friends, and I've always had loads of friends and acquaintances. And this milestone changed that for me. I realized that I want to be more centered like in myself, like I want to spend more time with myself. And it's been quite uncomfortable because I've had to say no to social engagements. And those who know me know that I'll always make a plan. Like I'll make sure that I'm at your birthday party, the launch of your business, like whatever's happening, I'm there. And I've decided that actually I want to spend more time alone. Being a parent, like with 2 kids and being in a relationship, I don't get a lot of alone time. I'm always around my family. And so now I've decided that, when everyone's like gone to bed or if Wayne's watching sport, I'm not super I'm a sports fan. I'm not that into sport. Like I don't watch sport every night. And he always like sits down and watches a game or whatever. So when he's doing that, I've decided that it's time to like, just reflect on my own life. And like, it's been difficult and uncomfortable. I do find myself doom scrolling. My screen time is like all the way up because I don't know what to do when I'm just by myself. Like, what do I do? What do I like? Like, what are my interests outside of chatting to friends or like getting dressed up to grab a coffee or a meal? So just peeling back and like trying to figure out who I am outside of my social circle. It's been really weird, but also like uncomfortable, but also good. So I've decided that, I've changed my life in that I'm at the center and then I have these outer rings, and the people closest to me, I used to prioritize them almost more than myself. And now I've decided to focus on myself, and all my really good close friends have been so understanding and like okay with me saying no and okay with me not attending every single event or social gathering. And then the sad part is that I guess the people on the outer ring have been kind of more offended and like, made it like really deep and accused me of, I don't know, disliking them. And so that's been really hard for me because I'm a people pleaser and I want to make everyone happy. So that's been difficult. It's like the people on the outer ring saying like, oh, I never see you. Like, what have I done? Like, did I piss you off? Like, I'm like, no, I just want to be alone. Like, what do I tell you? I'm isolating. And yeah, I've really struggled with being alone my whole life. Always wanted to be like chatting or talking to people or like in communication. So it's been an interesting journey, I think, to figure out that like those people that you maybe think are like your friends, they don't really get you or understand you. And then the people that you choose as like your board of directors, your closest friends, right? They're the ones like, oh yeah, you should like be alone more. Like you never by yourself, you're always out. So it's been cool to kind of understand like who my real people are, or discovering who my real people are, and then also discovering that I don't have to be there for everyone. Like I don't have to be everyone's support system. And it's always difficult, I think, if you are a people pleaser to choose yourself, because your natural sort of place that you sit in is like, okay, let me just push my own needs aside and deal with other people. I never get the chance to watch TV. And so I've started watching series, which is really cool. And that sounds so weird. I'm always so busy socializing that I don't even get to watch TV. So I started watching TV, watching movies, which I don't. God, I can't remember the last time I watched a movie before this like period of my life. And my best friend was saying to me yesterday, she's like, what do you mean you don't watch TV? I'm like, I'm so busy. I'm on calls. When my kids go to sleep, I'll call all my friends to like check that everyone's alive and okay. And like this person's like broken up with their boyfriend. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to prioritize that person. Or like someone's had a baby. So I don't have time to watch TV. And then I've always watched, just like very addicted to very addicted to TikTok. I don't know what to do at this point. If anyone has any advice, I need like a TikTok detox because I can't even brush my teeth without watching TikToks. Like I literally have it on auto scroll and I'm constantly watching. So that's why I don't watch TV because I'm watching like short form content. And I also discovered this year that my brain is not what it used to be. My memory is down. I blame TikTok again. Everything that's going wrong in my life is TikTok's fault. So I blame short form content, which is why I've started going back to listening to podcasts and like watching movies or series, like longer form pieces of content, because I like to believe that that's better for my brain, right? Because even though I love the content of reading, I just can't get to reading a book. Like I've bought so many books and I just can't read. So I really want to prioritize rewiring my brain and like getting my memory back and being able to remember things without writing them down. So that like physically has changed for me. The other change that was major is that I'm sure that if you guys follow me on social media, you know that I work out a lot. And this year I just stopped. I was like, what am I doing? Like I'm overworking out. Like I never enjoy anything. I just exercise all the time and I'm constantly watching what I eat. And I was like, I just can't anymore. I'm done. So I still work out 3 times a week. I go to the gym twice a week and go for a walk once. But I've slowed down on that because I felt like I was chasing this like a dream body. And like I wasn't comfortable with my own existence, my own body. And I just wanted to kind of like stomp on that notion, you know, because I wasn't working out just for the fun of it. I wanted to look a certain way and I wasn't achieving that look. And I just was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I need to stop. So now I work out to be fit and healthy, not to be snatched. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I just couldn't anymore. I couldn't do it. So that definitely shifted for me at 35. And then I think in terms of career, this year I realized I've been doing like digital content for 17 years. And that's a really long time. And then I find myself like online watching other people's content and it's like, I can see they really enjoy making it, you know? And I was like, I don't really enjoy doing this in the same way because the intention is different. Like I think the intention when I started at 18 was to like be noticed and like be validated. And now I needed to rework what the intention is, which is why I spoke about impact. Like I want to make an impact. I don't just want to be seen. And so that's just a major shift for me. And I don't know how that fits into my career. And although I'm building this podcast and I'm building my own IP, which I'm really excited about, it's like building it from the ground up. You know, people don't know me as a podcaster. I'm really having to kind of build it up and get people to know that side of me. I had a meeting with my manager the other day and she was like, whoa, we were really surprised at how like good you are on the podcast. Not that she didn't believe in me, but it's just because people don't know me in this way. So having to build up this new sort of persona, I want to say, which it isn't really a persona, it's really who I am, has been challenging. And where I find myself in the career space, I don't really know. That's where my identity crisis is coming in because I don't know how I want to move in my career. I know that I want to keep doing this. I just don't know how it's going to look. And then let me sit up. So for me now, career is the thing that's plaguing me the most. And I'm really having to kind of think about how I want my life to look like how much time I want to spend socializing with friends, how much time I want to spend with my family and being a present mom and wife, and then how much time I want to spend in my career. And I only have just like the small pie to work with. So it's kind of like, you know, trying to figure it all out. And I really will say I don't have the answers at the moment. And when you're like in your 20s, not having the answers is very scary. And then when you get, I'm in my mid-30s, getting to this stage, I think I know now that not having the answers, it's almost like exciting. I like look forward to this progress, whereas 10 years ago I would have been so anxious about not knowing where my life's going to be. Like, I think most people at 25 are worrying about, like, am I going to meet the love of my life? Like, am I going to have a family? Do I want a family? All these questions. Now I have those things, and I'm happy with where they are, just to know what next. And I will say, like, the frame of mind I'm in is like I'm more excited for the future and not so anxious. And the identity crisis of it all, it's a crisis, but it's like a fun crisis to have, figuring out what you want to do next, And I'm also very grateful that I get to do this as a job. It's a fun job. And I do love it, but I just need to reframe it. So I'd love to hear where you guys are at in your lives, if you're feeling a similar way. I don't know if it's an age thing or an era thing. Like, is this just how we all feel in 2025? Or is it because I'm 35 years old? So I want to know from you. So let me know in the comments, and then we can chat more about that. But yeah, on the life update side of things, I feel like the only life update I have is that I cut my hair, which is such a big thing for me because I've had long hair for a really long time. And then, yeah, we've had a little bit of loss in the family, and having to deal with grief was hard and very grown. And having to hold space for, our family through grief was hard. So I think taking the time to just breathe and like breathe through those changes has been really important. And I didn't want to start filming and then still dealing with the emotions of all of that. So yeah, that was really challenging. And on the positive side, I went to Europe. It was very expensive. But it was the first holiday we've taken since my son was born in his 7. So yeah, it was the first time we took a holiday in 7 years. And it was like a non-working holiday. It was actually a break. And it's the first time Wayne and I have traveled alone together since having kids. I was so nervous. It felt like I had like butterflies. It felt like going on a first date or like meeting like a boy that you like, because I didn't really know how we were going to be without our kids. I was so anxious about that. I kept asking other people, like, oh my gosh, what do I talk about? Like, should I buy those games? Like, those cards, those card games for couples. Because I'm like, I don't know if I even know what to say to him. Because there's only so many like dinners you can talk about medical aid and like your future wealth plan. And then what do you do? So 10 days just with him was like really scary for me. So the first 2 days, I think we fought twice, which I heard was normal. We fought about where we were going to eat and about directions. And then someone tried to steal my phone out of my bag in Amsterdam. And then we blamed each other. I was like, you're not looking after my bag. And he was like, why did you give me this bag? It doesn't have a zip. And it was like a whole thing. And then ironically, I don't know if this person watches my podcast, so this is very embarrassing. I was like swearing at Wayne in the streets of Amsterdam at 11 p.m. I was like, I'll just fucking go back to the hotel by myself. I don't need you. I'll just walk by myself. And he's like, you can't walk by yourself. It's 11 o'clock. And we're like screaming at each other. And this lady goes, oh my God, Aisha Baker. And I was like, fuck. And then I go, oh, hi. And she's like, oh, he's going to get a picture with you. It's so cool to see you in Amsterdam. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And I'm like cringing. And Wayne goes, oh, fuck. And he walks off. And I literally, I'm probably like red in that picture because I'm so embarrassed. And then, yeah, just to double down because she maybe had seen our fight, I decided to walk home and then like hope that Wayne followed me, because obviously I needed to be like, to show him like I'm independent. I'm going to walk to the hotel by myself. And our phones weren't working, so he's like good at maps and stuff. We didn't get a SIM card for Amsterdam because we thought there'd be Wi-Fi everywhere, which there actually wasn't. So he was like reading the map, and I'm very bad at geography, but I wanted to like show him that I could do it by myself. So I just stormed off, and then obviously he came running behind me, thank God, because I was like, it's like, fine, if you want to be like this, you can walk in the front and I'll walk behind you. But meanwhile, I just needed to know how to get to the hotel because I didn't know how to get there. So yeah, besides those two fights, we had such a nice time. It was so good for our relationship just to like get to know each other outside of our role as mom and dad. And I think that I will really try to go away once a year alone with him. I no longer believe in taking my kids on international trips because they just all waste my money. I might as well just put my money in the fireplace and set it alight. All they do is eat chicken nuggets and fries, and they moan and complain all the time. So they are only allowed local holidays and like swimming in heated pools because they're just so ungrateful, these kids. I asked my kids if they remember going to the Science Museum in London, and they were like, no. I'm like, it was so expensive and so hectic, and they don't even remember. So I'm not taking them on an international trip again. I'll save that for myself, and they can go on cute local holidays and do horse riding and swim in like warm pools and play on the playground. So on the life update side, since the last season, there's mainly just a little restructuring in my friend group in a good way. The haircuts, which I hope you guys like. I don't know, it's like weird to have this little pony. And of course, the trip to Europe, which was fabulous. And yeah, let me know in the comments how things are going. Your life updates. What do you think about my aging dilemma, my identity crisis, and if you're going through the same thing. And then, of course, don't forget to follow us, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and then, of course, on Instagram and TikTok. Catch you guys later. Bye.